Welcome, dear friends. We are happy to have you here with us today as another international discussion is being carried out in addition to the conference Global Crisis, Time for the Truth. This historical event was held on December the 4th, 2021, and united millions of people all around the world. The conference was organized purely by volunteers from over 180 countries. Within the 12-hour broadcast, there were uncovered the most relevant and vital topics of our contemporary society, such as catastrophic situation in our ecology, the mind-blowing facts about the real reasons for climate change, and such a shameful side of consumer society as human slavery. The truth was voiced openly and honestly by volunteers in live stream in 100 languages to reach the heart of every person everywhere. People stopped being silent, finally, as time for the truth has come.
Yeah, the conference was prepared by people who selflessly and devotedly stand for the entire humanity, stand for life for every human on the planet. The conference caused a huge resonance among people from all over the world. So many scientific facts, eyewitnesses' reports, and tremendous amount of analytical data has been presented to people in such a clear, honest, and comprehensive manner. So much feedback was received in the comments and letters, which gave us a clear understanding that we need to continue voicing the truth. And therefore, on May the 7th, the entire humanity will take a strategically important step forward. And so I'm inviting you to the international online forum, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live, that will be held on the platform of Creative Society Project.
And now please let me introduce our dear guests. Dr. Anita Kulkarni from India, Doctor of Naturopathy and Home Science. Prachi Gupta, author, entrepreneur and social activist from India. Andrew Cameron, painter and decorator from the United Kingdom. Welcome, dear guests. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Yeah, welcome. And now we will talk on the topics which were raised at the conference in more detail. But before we continue our discussion, let's watch a short video about the conference itself to refresh some facts, figures, and shots which were presented on the conference on December 4th.
Four months have passed since the time of the previous conference, and over this relatively short period, we have seen how much the progression of climate change and environmental degradation has accelerated. It's important not to remain silent, because this survival of all humanity is at stake. It is time for the truth.
We are now in a world where every single day, somewhere in the world, a climate extreme event is going to take place that will break the world record of that particular place.
The European floods this summer or the Western North America heat wave this summer. Both of those extreme events were due to the jet stream reacting in very unusual ways, in ways that climate models did not predict would happen.
When I'm out in the field, I always hear people say that I never thought it would happen to me, and they're always surprised. Can you imagine how devastated you would be if you lost everything that you owned? If you watched the people around you, the people that you love, struggle and suffer or even die?
We have to understand we're one people on one planet, and it's up to us together to solve these problems.
We cannot leave it to our leaders. The leaders have shown that they are not up to the task. The leaders think of themselves as leaders of their own country. They don't care about the rest of the world.
The problem right now is we've all surrendered a certain amount of our power to centralized authority, and they're trying to use that to take over everything. And they've been using this excuse of anthropogenic global warming in order to try to consolidate their wealth and control. So we've got to just completely abandon and expose that.
The discussion about the climate is narrowed down to the reduction of CO2 and global warming gases. And I think the problem is much broader than that.
There's a widespread belief that climate change is a result of human activity. This is reflected in the 5th and the 6th report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. But these beliefs are wrong.
The world's governments, through the UN, formed the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. Now, you would think that would be studying climate change, but they specified that you study the human causes of climate change. So they ruled out all natural factors. They said, no, we're not going to study whether the sun plays a role. We're not going to study whether volcanoes play a role. We're not going to study whether ocean current shifts play a role. And we really don't understand clouds, so we're not going to count them much. What we're going to study is human CO2 emissions, because that's what we can get a handle on. That's not the way science is supposed to work.
Anthropogenic global warming is a grandiose scientific scam of the 20th century.
Green energy is not green at all. And wind power is not green because wind farms require enormous amounts of concrete and metal to construct, disturb wildlife, harm human health with noise pollution, kill hundreds of thousands of birds each year, pollute our air and water supply. We pay high prices for something that will never meet our needs.
We need to build a humanity that lives like a beehive, and we have to build a society that puts human life first. If we combine our scientific, technological, and intellectual resources, we can solve the problem of climate change.
If we fail, we face the real possibility that if we don't get our act together and start preparing for this cataclysm, we face the very real possibility of extinguishing human life on the Earth. A supervolcano is quite capable of completely taking a species out. And I say, if we come together correctly, if we really put our hearts and our minds to the task of preparing correctly, then we could not only survive what's coming, we could be the first species on this nice little blue marble to thrive through the next cyclical destruction.
Let's follow the Creative Society's survival guide. The 3 easy steps. Learn more, spread information, and unite to build a creative society.
After all, this world is given to all mankind with only one purpose: to live and be healthy, happy, to create and not to destroy.
The Creative Society is a project of everyone. We do not collect any donations or funds that disappear in the deep pockets. Instead, each person acts in their abilities and uses resources they already have. It is your opportunity to be a part of the solution and live out your superhero potential.
The conference contained much vital information and which was voiced openly and honestly to the entire humanity. Dr. Kulkarni, what part or what information moved you personally the most?
I wish all of you a happy, healthy, prosperous, and peaceful New Year. I had seen a lot of your programs, and recently you have conducted on the global crisis. I would like to highlight some points that global crisis, along with the natural, that is seeing a global crisis in different age or different angle. We are seeing the global crisis observed on the human level also. That is crisis of humanity, crisis of connectivity, crisis of emotions and attachment, crisis of acceptance and sharing, crisis of confidence, crisis of faith. Nowadays, whenever there is a natural disaster in other part of the countries, then we see it as a part of there. We are not getting it as part of our, that we are not accepting them as part of our life. That's why there is no sharing, there is no connectivity. We are trying to be safe at our level. So nowadays, I feel we have to ask ourselves, are we becoming selfish and losing humanity? Are we progressing by suppressing others? Are we developing by destroying things and life? When we think about our progress, do you think the rights of others also? Because these things are very important for this. Disaster in any part of the world is also concerned with a disaster with us also, because we are losing human power, we are losing the natural resources, and you are losing along with the humanity also. Because this time they are suffering. Maybe it will be the time that we are also suffering. Same will happen with us also. So before commenting or before thinking of others as their part, we should think of it our part. We should connect, we should accept all the world as our. It's our home. They are our people. They are our resources. They are our persons. We are like a one home, so that the solution will be getting created, because we take care of our family. The total world is, we can, if you treat as family, then we can take care in a proper way. That our way of thinking will be in that way. Basically, in Hindu mythology, it is said that we are born with empty hands. We do not brought anything with us in the world. We are creating, generating our own money, wealth, property by using resources of here. And that's why when we die, we have to leave all the things here. So we have to keep in mind that if we are leaving everything here, why can't we share with others, so that they will also get prosper, they will also get grow, they will also get developed. So this we have to change the thought of our communicating or connecting peoples, or we can say that prosperity. Basically, we have changed the thought of success, prosperity, and development of ours. We should think it globally. Along with us, everyone has right to prosper. We should use our knowledge not only for gaining money, but increasing the helping others to grow, increasing peace and love and serenity in the world. And some other things are also there. Basically, of inner, we are born with a specific life purpose. We have a life purpose. We have given a special qualities so that we can fulfill our life purpose. We have to identify what is our life purpose. Everyone are here to give something. We are given something and we have to share it and give it to others, so that others also can develop, others also can prosper, and the whole world will be in peace and with love and serenity. That's what I want to say.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kulkarni. I agree that no matter where the disaster happens, in what corner of a globe, it affects everyone, every single person. So that's 100% correct. Thank you so much. And now we have a question for you, Prachi. Prachi, you know, it's not the usual thing for people nowadays, when we have so many distractions, to be interested in something serious, in something that can change the lives of everyone, you know. And you watched the conference, yeah? Could you please share what encouraged you to watch the conference and what impressed you the most?
Okay. When I went through the global conference, the thing which attracted me the most was that it has a strong voice which said about truth. We are in a consumer society where we are not at all known about the truth. We say we are using products that are said organic, but are these products truly organic? Because I have seen many factories going there, they say we are producing organic cosmetics, organic food, but when you go in their factories, there is nothing organic of any sort. So what I loved about this conference was they told us everything, the accurate truth. There was nothing hidden information. There was nothing fake in that it had all the information and all the topics were so relevant. Like if you talk about child trafficking or human trafficking, I was completely shattered when I came to know about trafficking, which was in the last part of the conference. Like human life, okay, we are humans, human life is so important, and we are not even caring about that. Because when you see there was also waste management over there, what they are doing, people are making billions and billions of dollars through waste. And what are they doing? They are just radiating the radioactive in the rivers. So we are in the society which is not even telling us the truth. Is the government has the responsibility only to do all about it? No, as we humans, we all have this thing in us, and we all are proper citizens. It's not about a particular country, it's about all countries. We all human beings should join together, search out the truth, and find out what is hidden, because only what it is hidden from us will lead us to transform this whole universe. We are in a very major danger right now. Just 2 days back, Brazil got a cliff broke and the tourists just died. It's just 2 days back. Every day, something or something else is happening. We have to be very aware and do something before any major drastic thing happens. So this conference was really a wonderful thing, which made me realize that there is so much which I'm not even aware of. So Creative Society, with its all foundations and basics, they are doing a wonderful job. And thanks for bringing that information to me so that I can share it upon to others and get more people aware. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And indeed, it is the truth. The information that was voiced on the conference is truthful, as all of the events in Creative Society are organized by people with own resources in free time. So there are no hidden intentions. And that is the main reason why we can voice the information as it is, without any coverage, freely and without any influence. And I would also like to ask Andrew the same question. So what was the first thing that touched you when you watched the conference?
It was seeing what's really going on in the world. It's something you don't really know and you don't see and learn on the telly, because they don't tell you, do they? So when I watched the conference, it really inspired me to do my part for humanity and inspire others to join Creative Society. With Storm Arwen hit Scotland pretty bad. They're still suffering now, where there's a lot of people homeless and struggling, where they had a massive power cut, floods. It's not good.
Thank you, Andrew, very much. Thanks a lot. It's not good what is happening. It's really not good at all. And too many people, they have already been forced to migrate because of the increasing and escalating climatic disasters. And the issue of rights and solutions for climate refugees at the most vulnerable social group is not even on any agenda of any country in the world. And of course, there are some organizations who try to help refugees, but as we see, nothing is really changing globally. And many still believe that the climate won't affect them. The paradox is that everyone knows that the problem exists, but there is no one who can really solve it, because every one of us is really concerned just about profit, about power, about comfort in this consumerist society, and we should finally stop it for everyone. So that volunteers of the Creative Society project, they prepared a special film about refugees, and this film was presented at the conference. Now I would suggest that we all and our viewers watch a fragment of this film so that we can see what is really happening right now in the world when we just sit and talk to each other.
Why is there such inhuman treatment of people? I was thinking about it and decided to figure it out.
You will never spend a month without being attacked with a xenophobic attack, because they say as a foreigners we are stealing their work. I've lost that hope of being in the great society. I don't know, I've lost that hope, because seeing the way that people are being killed, seeing the way that people are being shot in my eyes.
A child can be sold many times. I remember one day I came across the story of a girl who was, she was Turkish. She had been sold 17 times, and she had been trafficked from one country to another 17 times, and she had experienced only rape.
I also sat in many auctions as a customer, as an undercover when I was doing the undercover. There where we were sitting for the auctions, 9-year-old girl, 10-year-old girl, as per the demands. So the trade called the first time sex. Whenever the auctions will happen, new girls arrive in the trade, so they put the auctions. So who will bid the last demand, the money, that person only will use that victim whole night for his choice.
The business that is made of spare parts, the human spare parts. How many children have been transferred from one place to another and then being operated on for some rich guys in different parts of the world to get a kidney or get something else from their bodies against their will.
Black markets, traffickers, mafia is part of this economy that is ruling the world. So what else I can say? That I only see that another possibility is to spend money instead of constructing walls like we are doing in Europe.
In our society, human life has no value. How is it possible that instead of help, people encounter violence, aggression, abuse, and slavery? This is not a migration crisis, but this is a crisis of humaneness.
People, by looking at the existing legal frame, will not ever be entitled asking for protection. Because you will ask them which country you're coming from, they would say there's no country. I had a country called X, but the country now is underwater. Or I had a village and this village is being totally destroyed or disappearing.
It turns out that there are still no effective programs for the resettlement of refugees. For so many years, the United Nations has been working. For so many years, the Refugee Rights Commission has been working. So many humanitarian organizations and NGOs around the world have been working, but there are no working, established or adopted programs on how to work with these refugees. There are none, and the Refugee Commission itself admits this.
Now refugees are forced to leave their homes. They face condemnation and cruelty. They are left alone with their misfortune because of the consumerist format of society. Tomorrow's climate catastrophes could be upon us as well. Answer yourself honestly. Are you ready to face what refugees face? Are you sure you won't be in their shoes? That you and your loved ones won't have to go through what they're going through.
Yes, this is really a shocking information. I would like to ask now Dr. Kulkarni. So, in your opinion, what do you think, why do we have this phenomenon of all of these refugees, and how can we actually approach this issue? This seems to be an increasing problem all over the world. So can you provide your idea how this could be solved, please?
Global problem of refugees is an eternal problem, and it's very difficult to find a permanent solution because natural disasters are occurring very frequently. We are settling in the one part of the world and other part also getting affected. So first of all, we have to change our views towards the refugee. This is the main and important. When we are safe, if we are suffered like this, what we will do, what way we will suffer, we have to ask ourselves. There is necessary to first clear our concept. What we want from life, what is our life, what is their life. We should differentiate and we should think in a broad way. We have to change our way of thinking towards the all problems. That is our problem and their problem. Every time we should not think of our safety, our comfort. We are nowadays the success, the meaning of success has been changed. We are seeing nowadays that the success means in form of money, fame, position, and we are becoming more ambitious and greedy for earnings and gathering the wealth instead of their distribution or giving to others other chances. We are not earning for ourselves, we are earning for further generations also, and we are keeping it reserved for so many times or so many ways. So we have to change our concept. What exactly we want from life and in what way we want the success. What is the definition of success? Are we getting accumulating the wealth or prosperity? Are you getting after that death? This is for a time period. And if we are capable, we can make our generations capable of it. So there is no necessary to accumulate anything up to beyond a limit. We should change our concept. Then we have to adjust our views about the life. What life is there? What life is here? How we are suffering? How they are suffering? Is there any common thread between us? That we are suffering also from natural disasters, but there is certain limit. We are in a few hours, few days, or few months. They are suffering in various and very vast regions and very vast in the environmental conditions. So our thoughts, our views should be changed. That we give first priority to others also, instead of thinking of own always and all time. We should give priority to others also. Then we should unlock our educational potential. We are unlocking our educational potential for earnings, but it should not be there. It should be for sharing our views to others and sharing to views to bring a peace, to love. Basically, we are here for the love, peace, main purpose of our life, what we have given. We have forgotten. And we are created our own purpose, like we are earning, we have to earn property, we have to collect the money, we have to have ample of bank balance, cars, bungalows. We have to change our concept first. Now there is time to ask ourselves first questions so that we can clear our ideas about our life. Then we can see with the passion, compassion to the others so that we can understand their problems. Basically, connectivity one-to-one. We nowadays we have adopted high technology, so there is one-to-one connection is not there. We have to reach out the people. We have to connect them personally to understand their problem. It is not every time that they need financial support. They need moral support also. If a few words of love or if a lovely touch also can help them to grow up, to give them confidence. So it's necessary to first reach out the person. Problem of refugees is surviving because there is tremendous difference in the society. We had observed that you might have heard about the Wilfredo Pareto, the great economist of Italy. He has surveyed about the economic status of Italy, and he had given analysis that approx 20% of typical population accounts for the 80% of the total wealth of the Italy. That is, resources and the wealth is blocked and booked by the 20% of the population. Then next 40% of the population is surviving with the 15%. That is okay. But remaining 40% have to survive and develop themselves or carried out their life with the last 5%, that is worst thing. That is only 5% of their sources what are available. So this is tremendous discrimination in there. So every time it is not possible for government or any organization or any group of like you are doing a good job for the refugees also. But everyone should think that is their moral responsibility to contribute for the problem of the refugee in any way, morally, financially, so that they can help others. And if at least we can help 2 persons, 3 persons, 4 persons, it is not possible to help all them because problem is so vast. And we have also limit. We have our family responsibilities, practically thinking, our boundaries, our set limits. So at least if one person is helping 5 to 10%, then almost half of the problem can get solved. What I think, basically, moral responsibilities should be carried by ourselves. That we are responsible for growing them, developing them, and settling them in a good and peaceful environment, and also with the safe. Because nowadays refugees are facing the basic needs of suffer. They are suffering for the basic needs. Also, they are suffering for the life-threatening problems. Also, we are seeing they are being attacked. They are being sold. You have shown that there are human trafficking there. So it is our moral responsibility to give them a safe environment along with their basic needs. It also helps more to grow them in a good way. But this is my opinion.
Thank you. And indeed, basically, lack of empathy, lack of moral values in society, and unequal distribution of resources, this seems to really be an issue that is driving these refugees problems. And maybe one more comment to that. Not sure how in your country, but in many countries, basically the refugees are being shown by the media, as something bad, some enemy. So how do you think we can change the perception of the population of the countries that could potentially help the refugees to perceive them as not something bad, but as just ordinary people as we are?
Actually, when the refugees problem is there, when refugees come to us or in our country, we feel as a burden on them or ourselves because our resources are getting distributed. We are habituated to live in a comfortable or in a luxurious life, and we want to accumulate and use our resources for us also only, for us only. So whenever there is a refugees problem, everyone resist and reject them because it is a burden to a country. Basically, practically thinking, it's also a true, but at least we have changed our refuse to them so that we can solve the problem. Not in our country, it is everywhere problem is there. When refugees are migrated to any countries, they are not ready to accept them. They resist for their entrance. Even at the boundaries also, they are being killed. We had seen they are being killed, attacked, so that they should not enter. Because everyone thought that these are the burdens on us. They left their countries and it is an additional responsibility. And they will consume our resources. We will be lacked in our countries and we will suffer like them. Either they will not be happy or we will also suffer like them. So total environment will be disturbed. So there is a fight. And this should be on moral. I told you, we have to take moral responsibility first. Then this problem will be solved. It's not very easy because political pressure is there, social pressure is there. Some organizations are in favor of them or some organizations are opposite to them. So it is not so easy to solve problems so fast or in a healthy manner. First of all, we have to change the perceptions, our thought process. So for the acceptance of all things, then it will get solved.
Thank you, Dr. Kulkarni. And I like the question which was in the video about refugees. It was like, are you sure you won't be in their shoes tomorrow? Yeah. So we cannot be sure that we won't be refugees.
Yeah.
Even tomorrow, yeah. And that's why we need to change our perception of refugees from they to we, because they are part of humanity and we all are humanity. So their problem is our problem. And of course, we should review our values, because it seems that what we value now is not really humane, and we should put human life, human freedom, and human safety first. We should forget about all these distractions. which will disappear very soon due to climate crisis. We should focus all our attention on the main things. So thank you, Dr. Kulkarni. And the next question I have is for you, Prachi. But before I ask the direct question, I want to explain why I asked this question. So you know that the vast majority of people living today, those who can make the real difference in this world now, they have grown up with books, with films, with video games, newspapers, and other media full of speculations on the climate apocalypse. And the media, they do not cover the issue honestly, openly, and to the full as it should be, as we did at the conference, yeah? So they just pursue their own interests. And climate crisis doesn't really bother them. They do not really want to find the solution. They want to make money on it, or they want to get more status and power, but they do not want to really solve the problem. And as a result, common people, they no longer take the issue seriously as their perception has been dulled. And now, instead of digging deeper into the problem and working together to find a solution, people find it easy to forget, to get rid of it. They do not want to hear anything about it. But every day such an action and negligence cost us real human lives. And that's why it won't take longer for the climate crisis to come to every home if we do nothing. And the longer we sleep, the closer the point of no return is. So the question to you, Prachi, is, what do you believe should be done in the situation when we cannot rely on media, on politicians, on international organizations?
Okay. So for me, I'm a very curious person. So I keep on researching every way. So what through my books also and through all my speeches, whether in every college, I like to teach, spread awareness among college students and school students much. Because why? Because they are the building blocks of any society, any country. So if we have this curiosity to know about the truth, because what we are is we are comfortable in our zone. We are just sitting at our homes. We think we just watch a movie, watch a thing, get entertained ourselves, and that's done. That's not the thing. We will not get the perfect information until we go and search for it. There are a lot of mediums which are having this information. You just need to connect with the right kind of people. You can't just rely on everything that is written. A news comes in the New York Times. Is it authentic? That is the work of each and every human being. You have to ask there, is whatever you are posting is right or wrong? It's not a thing that we should believe. It's internal. Each one should get others encouraged, other aware that no, you have to find the truth. You just can't be blinded by whatever happening. You should have this humanity in you that whatever you are doing is not for just your selfish needs. You have to think on a broader perspective. So every human being should have this curiosity on how to find the truth and what it is, the hidden truth. Only then we can find the real information. You have to be a researcher. Every one of us should be a researcher.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's very, very inspiring. We all should be researchers. Yeah. One team, and then we will be able to do a lot. And you know that, again, coming back to the researching, preparing for the conference, volunteers search for so many topics and search for so many problems that it was just, mind-blowing. And some topics which people usually take as not really serious or something that won't touch them soon, these topics appear to be, vital. They appeared to be urgent. And one of such topics is melting of glaciers. We won't be able, of course, to cover all topics which were presented at the conference, but at least we can reveal this problem right now. So now I ask a technical team, please, could you show the video about glaciers?
Everyone has already heard that glaciers are melting catastrophically fast, but have you heard about how exactly they are melting? 90% of all glaciers on the planet are located in Antarctica, where they are disappearing the fastest. What is striking is that this is taking place solely in the western part of Antarctica, whereas in the east, record-breaking cold temperatures are being recorded. A logical question arises: why is Antarctica melting only on one side? And the answer is quite simple. West Antarctica has a totally different geology. It consists of thin blocks of the Earth's crust that are separated from each other by large tectonic faults, rift zones. And in these zones, greater amounts of heat are released. For example, scientists from Germany and the British Antarctic Survey mapped the geothermal heat flow in West Antarctica using data from aeromagnetic observations beneath the Thwaites Glacier. They discovered an area where a huge amount of heat comes from the Earth's bowels. According to scientists, this is due to the fact that the glacier lies in a tectonic trench where the Earth's crust is much thinner. Surprisingly enough, West Antarctica is one of the largest volcanic regions on Earth. There are more than 140 volcanoes sleeping under the ice, and they are now much more active than the scientific community previously believed. A team of researchers from the University of Rhode Island discovered a new factor in the rapid melting of the Pine Island Glacier in Antarctica. It's an earlier unidentified active volcano buried deep beneath the ice. Evidence of volcanism was indicated by high concentrations of the helium isotope, which comes exclusively from the Earth's mantle. According to Professor Karen Haywood, geothermal heat from the West Antarctic Rift warms the ocean water. This in turn leads to the acceleration of ice sheet melting. Thus, it is the geothermal heat from volcanoes that is contributing to the rapid melting of the Antarctic ice sheet, not global warming at all. But why are there so many volcanoes under the ice of Antarctica? NASA experts have found out the reason based on data from NASA's IceSat and IceBridge satellites. They have concluded that under the surface of West Antarctica, there is a large mantle plume that is a flow of red-hot magma which rises and expands beneath the Earth's crust. According to the scientists' calculations, this area is warming with almost the same intensity as the Yellowstone supervolcano. The heat flux measures 150 milliwatts per square meter, reaching 180 in the rift areas. This is about 3 times as much heat as the adjacent rock layers receive. Thus, all indications are that glaciers in Antarctica are melting not at all due to anthropogenic factors, but due to the volcanic heat. At the same time, the temperature of the Earth's crust is rising and parts of the territory are elevating abnormally. Why does the scientific community ignore the connection between all these phenomena? Equally intense ice melting is also taking place on another part of the planet, in Greenland. Research conducted in October 2020 showed that Greenland's ice is now melting faster than ever before in the past 12,000 years. In 2019 alone, Greenland's ice sheet lost the most ice in recorded history, 600 billion tons. It is also surprising that giant lakes appear under the surface of the glacier, which is actually 1.5 kilometers thick. As of today, we already know about 6 dozen subglacial lakes of Greenland. The temperature of the ice surrounding them is around minus 28 degrees Celsius. But these lakes do not freeze. Why? Several research groups of scientists joined in the effort to find an answer to this very question. They discovered the fact that under Greenland, just as under Antarctica, there is a mantle plume. Geothermal flows coming from its bowels cause formation of subglacial lakes and melting of glaciers. Using gravitational research, a team of American scientists led by Professor Ralph von Friese estimated the thickness of Greenland's crust. Active melting of glaciers has been observed in the northern part of the island, where the crust is thinner and an increased geothermal flow due to the rising mantle plume has been detected. Using seismic tomography data, scientists from an interdisciplinary team at the Schmidt Institute of Physics of the Earth saw that the flow of magma rises from the center of the core to the Earth's surface right beneath the central part of Greenland. This is where the largest number of subglacial lakes are located. The scientists have calculated the theoretical heat flux corresponding to this magma chamber and found that this heat is sufficient to warm the base of the glacier up to the melting point of the ice. These same results have been confirmed by similar studies using machine learning technology. It is obvious that the world's two largest glacial regions, Antarctica and Greenland, are melting because of increased geothermal flows coming from the interior of the planet. But what is intensifying them? Mantle plumes have been beneath the glaciers for millions of years, but it is today that their magma rises closer to the Earth's surface and causes increased heating of the Earth's crust from the inside. This indicates that abnormal processes are starting to occur in the bowels of the Earth, in its very core. And the main question is, why is it happening precisely now? This answer is simple. Cyclical changes on a planetary scale occurring every 12,000 years. The melting of glaciers is only a part of the chain of climatic events that will lead to an imminent catastrophe already in the near future. Today, it is extremely important to unite the entire world scientific community in order to thoroughly study the real causes of climate change and prevent a great tragedy.
This video only shows how just consuming information from available resources without researching, without analyzing, can mislead one in any field that can then cause a misinterpretation and underestimation of the severity of climate change. I would like to now ask Andrew. So we know that you have been you have been studying materials in the field of climate change. Can you share with us your understanding how important it is to be aware about why the glaciers are melting from the bottom, and what is the seriousness of this issue? Thank you.
Well, it's very, very serious. With the rising water levels, it's I was looking at a map, and 2030, it's surprising how much land we're going to lose from the melting of the glaciers. A lot of Wales, where I'm from at the moment, will be gone. We'll be split up into more little counties. It's very nerve-wracking. And I've got 10 children in my life, and I want to do my best to learn as much as I can, to pass it on to them, for them to be aware for their future.
Mm-hmm. And in the same way, basically, many people today are misled, and they hope that the climate crisis can just be resolved or alleviated by easy planting trees, or restricting emissions or sorting rubbish. But the situation, in fact, is much more serious. no country, even no union of countries, can solve this issue alone. So what is your opinion about the current climate situation? How serious is it? And what are the true reasons that lead to the increasing and escalating catastrophes?
Well, the true reasons is for the world cycle, the 12,000 year cycle. You know, it's like you said, planting trees ain't going to solve the problem, is it? You know, the government, the tellies, the news, they need to, you know, tell people the truth, and so we can all come together and solve it. Instead of with the plastic pollution, it's a lot. You've got to do your own research. You've got to watch your own YouTube videos. You don't hear it on news every night. You know, it's they're hiding it. They're making documentaries on how they're building more forests and planting more trees to make a big forest. It's not going to solve it.
And so what can every one of us do, you know, to spread this information?
By inspiring others and telling them the truth and showing them, for them to inspire others. And so one day we'll become the government, but no greed. If there's not money involved, that they don't want to know. That's the way I look at it. You know, it's all down to the greed.
Yeah. Again, coming back to human values. Yeah, we should value human first, and not money, of course. And Dr. Kulkarni, you mentioned many times during our today's international discussion that the problem is really the core problem is really inside of us, inside of humans. It's not external, and that we should start from ourselves first, from our personal moral responsibility. So this means that in order to change the whole situation, we need to reach everyone. Yeah. So question for you: how can we reach the hearts of everyone, even those who do not take seriously the fact that if we do nothing tomorrow, the trouble will affect all of us and them, of course, as well? So how can we reach these people, their hearts?
Actually, we have to contact personally, one-to-one contact, because if you are showing the documentaries or films, it has got no value for them, because they don't have any vision for that. What is happening exactly? You have to take them to the situation, that you have to create some scenario that this is the situation, and just like a road shows or a shows like live shows, and you have to participate them also, so that when they participate, they will come to know what is exactly going on, and they will start thinking in that process. If you show them documentary or film, or if you tell them stories, or if you give them lecture, they will just listen for half an hour, 1 hour, they will see the whole and then forget it. Basically what happened, we see something, we listen something, we think it for a while. If I see on your, I had also seen so many videos you have uploaded, documentaries you have uploaded, and that time I become so serious. Yes, we have to do something. We have to take something. But this scenario does not long for so many times, that it for a time being. It's just a time being. After that, we go to our routine, and then we forget all the things. Basically, we have to hammer this repeatedly, that after few days, few hours, few months, few years, every year, then they will come to know, no, there is something serious, and we have to think of that. Because now I'm talking to you, so I'm thinking, I'm seeing, so I will also be serious. No, this is very serious matter. I had seen video of where water is disappearing. Just you have uploaded on the Creative Society. It's a really serious matter, because Earth is inhaling the water, and the way Earth will exhale the water, and at what temperature. When I saw the whole video, I was very shocked. What is the fact behind this, and what a research they had done? I really appreciate, but the matter is so serious. But then after a few hours, I come to my routine and then I forgot. Now I have seen again. So I do remember, yes, there is something serious and we have to think on that. So to reach out the people, we have to hammer them, literally hammer them in very frequent manner, or the frequency should be more, so that they should force to think on that. If you tell them once time, they will listen, they agree, they think, and they will forget. Because we are set in a routine procedure. So it's need to hammer more and more times, and you have to convince them that this is happening. You have to involve them in the scenario so that they can come to know the seriousness of the problem. What I think, this is my opinion. One time, so there is no, they will not listen. They will just listen and forget in the routine, because we are involved in our life itself. We don't have time to think of others. We are thinking. It's not that no one is thinking about others, but it is time being. Then we come to our routine, then our family, our job, our routine, and we forget all the things. We involve in our joys, happiness, parties, and we just literally forget everything. So it is need to hammer with very frequent, in frequent manner, so that everyone should remember it very frequently, and they will come to know the seriousness of the problem. So there is need to frequent uploading movies, or uploading the knowledge, or updating their knowledge, or some documentaries, and giving some lectures to them, and forcefully we have to give them the feedback of what happening, this will happen. Then they will come to know the seriousness of the problem, what I think.
Thank you. This was very inspiring, and it is indeed the truth that one does not know the lake standing on a bank without diving into it, you know. So in order to understand everything, we all need to start acting, you know, start taking part in the project, start researching. This is very true. And I would like to ask you, Prachi, what motivated you to join us today? Can you share your opinion, and what would you say to inspire those people who, for various reasons, are afraid to speak up?
Like when I had my recent interview with the creative team, I came across Olga, and this wonderful lady said, you know, you have wonderful ideas, you are a writer, you are a book writer, you have so much to share. So I thought this, because the concept of creative society is so wonderful, I thought I have this motivation to share my knowledge over here and get knowledge from there, because creative society is having a truckloads, or I must say massive amount of real information, which I would like to grasp and tell other people. So this conference just got me here because I wanted to learn. Like, I really learned a lot from Dr. Anita. She is wonderful in her concepts. Like, also she said, each one of us should be discussing that on one-to-one basis. She's really true. Because until and unless we ourselves get through that, we don't understand the importance of it. Like when you said about refugees also, is only human trafficking in refugees? Like recently, my brother went to Paris and such a horrible event took place with him. His all bags and everything was stolen at a bus stop. We were really very scared. So it's not the moral thing is happening only for refugees. There are small other things. Like if you go to other parts of the country, tourists are getting looted. Is looting the tourists aren't a crisis or aren't a problem? Every problem is there. It's just that the creative society is picking up everything. So it's really great that I'm learning from here, and I want people to think upon that also. Like if I read the newspaper, there are so many rapes are happening, tourists getting looted. Why this happening? This is also a crisis. You can't each country do like that. They can just, because tourists are our guests, we can't just let them be looted and be like that. So it's not a government thing. Every human, every person should have this. Everything should teach moralistic value. Like, why are you looting these people? And when they are from like other country, what will happen? They don't even know the people here, the government here. the rules here, what will they do? And they think because they are helpless, you can just go and steal stuff. So it's a big problem, and each one of us should have this awareness in us to learn and get others motivated. So Creative Society got me here to be motivated and motivate others. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. We are facing a real crisis today. And this is a global crisis. And a global crisis can only be solved by a global unification, by global uniting of people. And Prachi, maybe one more question. How do you think we all can unite within the soonest possible time to finally become the true humanity and build a world that we would all be proud to live in?
Yeah, we can, every human can join through hands, through heart, sorry. Whenever you feel the pain, it's not your own pain. When you can feel the pain of others is when you can really join to them. You can't just join with a stranger. No, you are a social person, you can join. But until and unless you're going to feel the pain, because till now, truly speaking, until my brother got that horrific event there, I never experienced the pain of what tourists had to go through in our country. So what one should do is be a bit empathetic, have sympathy for others. Just remove the selfish thing from your dictionary. Everyone is selfish, everyone is competitive. But why 20th century is only having this many crises? Why not earlier centuries were having this much? Because we in 20th century have become totally consumer opinionated, consumer driven society. What we have to do is we have to think upon whole. Don't think from your head, just think from your heart. And when you are thinking from your heart, joining people, experiencing their pain, their misery, then we can join others. So just think as a whole, not a single person. Just remove selfishness and think as a whole. As not a one country, as a humanity. We are not one country, one religion, one community, nothing. We are all humans, and human is a very valuable thing. So just be human.
Thank you, Prachi. Definitely, we should forget about everything that separates us, and we should start building bridges to each other. And now, a question for you, Andrew. It's obvious that we live in very interesting, though very difficult time. And why this time is interesting? Because now people start understanding that we cannot blame anybody, anymore. We cannot expect anybody to save us, and we cannot expect anybody to build a better world for us. So today, everyone becomes responsible, and everyone can and should be a hero for the whole world. And being a hero, I mean that being a real human, a true human, because it's time for the truth and time for unification. And in your view, Andrew, what simple actions you see which could make a real difference in society now? Such a difference that we all wake up from the current nightmare, that we all realize that, we are not just posts, but we are those who decide in what world we want to live, and those who decide whether to build this world or not. No, those who make the real choice.
With a strong heart, like myself, I've got a lot of difficulties in my life, like with anxiety, and speaking out and being part of Creative Society is really helping me with all that, making me a better person, and it makes me inspire others. And then when I talk to others, they're inspiring others. It's really good. But then you get the odd type, but I just don't really want to know. They're just you got common law and civil law. You want to stay in with the civil law, and you can tell the ones what have got the common law inside them. They want to unite and make it a better place and inspire.
Thank you. This was really inspiring, And you know why this is? This is because the project Creative Society foremost support the most important thing that we have got, and this is a human life, you know. And so thank you again for your honest answer. I think this was really inspiring.
Thank you. It's got to take yourself out of the comfort zone and to better yourself, aren't you? And it really does help me a lot, especially with a lot of kids in my life, 10 in total, you know. And yeah, I'm only 36 and I want them to have a really good future, and then I want their children to have a good future. I don't want disaster after disaster, you know, and not in their lives. It's horrible, you know. When you watch them videos, like the conference, my heart went out. I felt so bad for the people, because we're kind of lucky in the UK compared to other countries of what they've got to deal with year after year, and it gets worse and worse. And in the UK, we just get the tail ends of storms, you know, but it will get bad. And this is why we've got to unite now and keep inspiring people and make them understand that it's not going to get any better, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, thank you. This is fantastic. Before we end, I would also like to give the word to everyone. What would you like to say, maybe last sentences, to our last thoughts, to our viewers?
Thank you, everyone. And you're so full of knowledge, and it's good to other people from different countries speak. It's and listen. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Kulkarni.
Yeah, I would like to, for the viewers, I would like to leave some questions. Everyone should ask some questions to self. That is, what is my definition of success? And the success, what I am getting, is really mean to me. What is my purpose being here on this planet? Am I doing right? Am I contributing towards my life purpose? Am I on right path? Am I also responsible in the way of thought or behavior to the global problems and global crisis? How can I change the view to change the situation? How can I contribute to find the solution on these problems? Basically, if we ask these questions to self, then we will get concept about ourselves, what we are, what we have to do, and what we are presently doing. And then we can change our views towards the others. So I would like to think on these questions, and everyone will get their answers, and they will contribute. Really, they will get a morally responsible and responsible for contribution in the global problems.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kulkarni. Prachi?
Yeah, I really want to tell people, like, I know you are all in your comfort zone enjoying, but be aware, like, whatever you are consuming, is it the best quality you are assuming? Is it what they are shown in the pictures? Be street smart, be very smart, because being unaware is not helping you. You are just deceiving yourself if you are being closed-minded, or you are closing your eyes to information. Because even in every day, the food packaging we are eating, is it what healthy it is written over there? You are, whenever we are going to be thinking from me to us, then this world is going to change. We don't have to think me, no, us. Then the world is going to change. You have to be a hero yourself and go make others heroes. Make them stand out. And that day, when this happens, you think of, you get aware yourself, you get others aware, then the whole world is going to be aware. So start working from yourself, start working from today, and change others also, and change this world. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prachi. Yes. Dear guests, thank you very much for joining this discussion today. Thank you for your sincere answers, for your thoughts, ideas. They were really, really inspiring. And I'm sure our viewers also love this discussion. What do you think, Alexei?
Yeah, for sure. I love the discussion a lot. And thank you, dear guests. And of course, thank to you, dear viewers, for being with us today. And we are looking forward to your comments, to topic suggestions, and to questions for the next international discussions. And of course, you can contact us via YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter pages of the Creative Society project. So please do this, and we will answer your questions, and we will comment your thoughts in the next international discussions. And also, I'd like to tell that you can contact us at email info@creativesociety.com. So you are very welcome. Also, this morning I watched a video which touched me a lot, and that was a trailer of the coming forum, which will be on the 7th of May 2022. And this forum is called Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. And the participation of every person on the planet is now of utmost importance. So please don't miss a chance to join this large-scale international online forum and be the change yourself. To find out more information about this coming forum, please visit creativesociety.com website and go to International Conferences section.